Hey, movie fans, Demetri Panos here with a movie review for you. Yes, good to be doing some video movie reviews. And before I get into my very first review for Death of Me, quick primer about my rating system. It's really simple. It's based off of the star system, starting with 5 stars, 4 stars, 3, 2, 1. Except instead of using stars, I'm using my hand. I use fingers. Why? Not looking to reinvent the wheel here. I just want to polish the hubcaps. Just want to try to have fun with doing movie reviews and a rating system. Nothing has changed in like years, and I get it. When something works, you don't fix it, and I'm not looking to fix it. I just want to have fun, and maybe you can have fun as well, and you can use it. And so after you watch a movie, you can go, wow, that movie was great, or that movie really made me angry. So basically, starting off with 5, it's right here. When a movie is great, excellent, you feel awesome coming out of the theater, you just want to high five somebody, so you give it the big high five. Movie is not great, but it's very good. It's very good, and it misses greatness by that much. You want to give it 4. So I give that 4 fingers right there. If a movie is, well, 3 fingers, there you go. That's the symbol for it's okay. It's A-okay. And sometimes, it's okay for a movie to be okay. What are the parts of movie discussion that I really don't like is when you ask somebody, "Hey, what'd you think of that movie?" and they come back with, "It wasn't great." Well, you know what? Not every movie is supposed to be great. That's what makes great movies stick out. It's just the same way with athletes. Not every athlete can be great. This is what gives competitiveness and makes that work. But sometimes if a movie is okay, it's A-okay. And I don't want to give a negative connotation to a movie that's okay. But then we start getting into the lower digits, and 2 fingers, that's fair. It's not exactly okay. It was fair. The best I could say about that movie is it didn't make me angry. Okay. And remember those words. It didn't make me angry, because there are, on occasion, it's happened to us all, there are the occasional movie that would make you angry. That brings us down to the finger that says it all, particularly when you're angry. You know the one I'm talking about. You've been using it a lot lately to flip off your television set, whether it's a sporting event or you're watching something else. When a movie makes you angry, you just give it the finger, the one finger that says it all. So there you have that. So why don't we get into my review of Death of Me, directed by Darren Bousman. You know him from the Saw movies, also stars Maggie Q, Luke Hemsworth. Why don't we get right into it? Part Hangover, part Rosemary's Baby, part Serpent in the Rainbow, with a dash of Lost and DOA. That is Death of Me, Darren Bousman's latest horror movie, or is it a noir thriller? Well, let's try to figure that out as we go along. Taking place on an island that looks very similar to where James Bond faced off against Scaramanga in The Man with the Golden Gun. Christine and Neil, on their last night of vacation, have one shot too many. That leads to a very bad morning after. Extremely hungover, with no recollection of how they got back to their Airbnb and why they're in such a state of duress and dishevelment. I mean, Christine looks like she just dug herself out of a grave. And she's throwing up grass, but she's got a nifty new necklace. Well, the couple rushing to catch the ferry to the mainland, and only when they make it to the docks do they realize their passports and money are gone. Well, thus begins their journey to figure out what happened that night before and what the island and its inhabitants has in store for them. Suffice to say, Christine finds out she's involved in some voodoo ritual sacrifice that keeps the island safe from any harm, including like typhoons, and its inhabitants cured and healthy from any disease. That is, of course, except for poor Christine, who is to be the next sacrificial victim. The movie attempts to interlace themes of faith and free will. In the end, it's really more about what happens when faith is forced and it takes away an individual's free will. The movie doesn't make a very good argument for belief. Now, look, I've been a fan of Maggie Q throughout the years. She has showcased some excellent range as an actor. And here, she's coming off of the abysmal Fantasy Island, only to be stuck on another island. My advice would be stop making movies on islands. but she is the standout of Death of Me. This isn't a, hey, I'm vacationing on a beautiful locale, and it is beautiful locale, and I have to shoot this movie here type of a performance. You know what I mean? Like a paycheck performance where you get paid some dollars, but a nice vacation resort. Meaning, even in not so good movies, Maggie Q never phones it in. And Darren Bousman, well, he was lucky to have her on this feature. Otherwise, I think the movie would have been a wreck. As for Luke Hemsworth, this might make you laugh, and all I could see in Hemsworth was a young Tom Berenger. Yeah, a very young Tom Berenger, somewhere in between that Platoon and Sniper. You don't believe me? Get Tom Berenger out of your head. Go ahead. Look at him. That's young Tom Berenger, and you should see him when he puts on glasses. The resemblance is uncanny. He could play his son. In any case, he was pretty good. He was fine. As I believe Maggie Q is better deserving than movies like this, I also believe so isn't director Darren Lynn Bousman. First off, his direction never looks cheap. He knows how to move a camera, where to set up a camera, and he's smart enough to hire like really good crew. Personally, I always wonder what he can pull off if he had more of a budget. Bousman seems perpetually stuck being on the cusp of bigger projects. I'm curious, and I would like to see what that bigger project might look like from him. So, as I mentioned, all those other reference of movies before, Death of Me is an amalgamation of many different movies you've likely seen before, and you probably like a little bit more than Death of Me. There's nothing very unique or special about this movie. Maggie Q's performance keeps you interested. There is some rated R gore, but ultimately, it never knows what it wants to be, whether it just wants to be a thriller noir or it wants to be horror. Ultimately, the best I can say about Death of Me is it didn't bore me to death and it didn't make me angry. So I give it 2 fingers. I hope you like the review. Stay tuned for some more. You can follow me on Twitter at Demetri Panos. That's at DemetriPanos on the Instagram. Same thing, at Demetri Panos. Let me know what you think. And if you see the movie, I really am curious and I'm open up for the discussion. Tell me what you think. You can also find me on Hollywood Critics Association's podcast called Retro Rewind. I appreciate your time in watching this review. I look forward to telling you more about the movies and talking movies with you. Take care. Bye.